My name's Amazon customer. I read this as a PDF. 5 stars.
Oh, I love PDF.
The format was awesome.
Wait, okay.
It was like right there.
I swear to God I'm reading this. Together, Vanks and his dog familiar, Sir Poops-a-Lot, Thorn, Chelda Flar and her elven lover Moonsey, along with Garelel, Prince Russet, and a host of others, give all they have to keep the Trigon from destroying the Heart Tree.
Now, Moonsey is just offensive.
Yeah. Toast, that is our word.
Yo, you can't use that word.
You can't use Moonsey.
He took it back.
Hustle hard, stack paper, it's alright. Y'all haters, it's nothing. We major, you see me. High hater, high hater, high hater. You see me, high hater.
This is the F Plus Podcast, a very well-read place for terrible things, read with enthusiasm. In the room tonight we have Jean Toast.
M.T. Dismuke is a new self-published author who just wanted to know why the readers weren't more grateful for getting free books, which is a perfectly legitimate question.
Bunny Bread.
The tale of the sword and the elf and the dragon and the shield and the dildo and the goblin and the other dragon and the golden clit.
Isfahan.
This episode was a lot funnier before that idiot Isfahan messed it up in editing.
Boots Rain Gear.
Queen Corridalis needs a certain shard to cast a beckoning so that the emerald-eyed champion of lore might come and save them all, for he is the one who can end the whore witch.
And Lemon. This isn't a book about lesbians. It's like Indiana Jones meets Alice in Wonderland, only with swords and pixies and wild creatures instead of rabbits. But it's a great book.
Join Thorn, Bristle, and Barb, the Pixie Queen's fiercest, smartest, and most loyal elves, as they take a thrilling journey out of the most protected world into the true overland where danger hides around every corner.
Oh, come on, Boots. You had me at elves. Come on.
I was
quit it.
led to the edge of yet another Matthias cliffhanger, and there he gave me whiplash and reminded me why his stories are so unpredictably good. No cliffhanger this time. Let's call it a shocker.
Oh, let's not.
Vanks and his new companions decide to travel deep into the Bitter Peaks, where a fabled horror witch's mythical place supposedly sits.
High hater, high hater, you see me. High hater, high hater, high hater, you see me. High hater.
Hey, F Plus.
Yeah.
Hey, Lemon.
Hello. What's up, Lemon?
Hey, what are your opinions on literature?
Ain't got none.
Not a fan of it.
Readings for nerds.
You mean like webcomics, right?
yeah, exactly. Webcomics.
You mean like pictures of titties?
Oh,
You mean
my
manga,
God.
Webcomics aren't for nerds.
You know what? You people are so uncultured that it's really annoying because you haven't been spending enough time on Goodreads.com.
Oh, that's pictures of booties.
No, it's not. I don't know how you would infer that from
I'll
what
bow
I
out
just
of
said.
this then. I'm not the target audience.
Yeah.
Here.
So Goodreads is a website where people can sort of read or write about the books that they've written and communicate with other people that they've written. And then sometimes, and every once in a while, the author shows up to respond to the reviews of the author's own books.
Classy.
Yeah, so
I'm
this
sure
is
it's always quite civil, right?
Yeah, totally.
Well, I don't know for sure, except for I know that this is a document given to us by Cheapskate, and it is entitled Authors Who Can't Take Criticism.
They're the kind of authors who have to keep an eye on Goodreads and jump in whenever they see something that needs policing.
Yeah, so we're going to learn about these authors and how they respond to the criticism put upon them and the conversation therein. So we'll start off with you, Isfahan. Your name is Dylan Sacocchio.
Sacocchio? Yeah.
Dylan
like-
Sack.
And you've written a couple novels, but I need you to just tell... Oh, that's you have a Wix site that's down. But I want you to tell me a little bit about yourself, would you?
All right, I am a douchebag wearing some sort of frilly outfit, and I have a steampunk revolver, looks like.
Sure do.
I grew up in Boston, Mass.
I thought that was a bow.
No, it's a pistol.
Oh, okay.
Dylan, who is
I
me,
see.
Dylan Sacocchio,
Right.
who is me.
Yep.
I grew up in Boston, Massachusetts, and Providence, Rhode Island, before moving to Manhattan
time?
at 18 years old. to pursue my career as an actor.
That's why I'm writing books now.
Oh, good.
And since I'm obviously not the person who wrote this, I will just go to the third person.
Okay.
He grew up playing every sport.
Oh.
Every sport.
Like what?
Fishing, sailing, and breaking rules.
That's all the sports, yep.
Those are the 3 sports that there are.
Did you letter in breaking rules?
Yeah, no, well, I was JV.
Okay, okay.
Man,
that's no embarrassing.
It was such an upset when Norway got gold in breaking rules.
Yeah, they're just a bunch of bad boys up there in Scandinavia. Anyway, he's been writing for as long as he's been acting. And playing guitar for 12 years in the style of John Frusciante and Jimi Hendrix. My fingers are so bloody.
Yeah, that sounds painful.
I wish I could stop.
Have you been doing drugs in the style of John Frusciante and Jimi Hendrix as well?
Oh, his roommate has.
He did drugs and then set his guitar on fire. All on the same day.
He moved to Los Angeles at 20 years old, so he's in Manhattan for 2 fucking years. Temporarily, before moving there permanently the following year.
Good. This is important shit.
Yeah. I'm not sure of the logistics of that.
Yes.
Okay.
After 12 months, he's like, no, I'm not leaving your couch, Brad.
Fine, I'll get my own place. Jesus Christ.
He had an apartment that was too high in rent, and then after looking for another apartment, he found one that was lower in rent, and then lived there.
And this bed was just right.
Tired of reading these bios of authors just to move from one place to another. I need to know about the process.
Yeah. Well, in his never-ending journey to attain his highest and best self...
Oh, God.
Right, Patrick Bateman.
What's the audio equivalent of making a jerk-off motion with your hand?
We
He
can hear
explored
it.
many different avenues. The 2008 crash jolted him to awaken from the American nightmare of being a gangster for capitalism. Why,
You
'cause
weren't
he
making
owned
any
property.
motherfucking money.
Yeah. The 2008 crash affected people who, owned
Had money.
things. Like property. Anyway. Among the many screenplays he wrote, his magnum opus is The Tale of Honora, a series... Do you want me to click more and keep reading?
Yeah,
Yes.
sure do.
A series that is a metaphorical tale of his life.
Yep.
Ooh.
Moving around from city to city.
Yeah.
For every 1,000 people hacking at the branches of evil, only one is hacking at the root of it. In The Boy and the Peddler of Death, every conscious solution to today's collectivist problems is blended into a fantasy tale that tells the story of us all, for there is no great story that did not dance with the truth.
Oh, my God.
Dumber words have never been spoken.
And can you tell me all of the books that you've written, Dylan?
Sure. I have written 4 books.
Okay.
The Boy and the Peddler of Death, of course, which is the Tale of Honora, Volume 1.
Right.
The Tale of... It's got 1 and 3/4 stars out of 5. The Girl with the Solar Eyes, which is
1
Volume
and
2.
1/3 star.
That sounds painful.
Yeah, that's 1 and less than a half a star. So... then there's the Tale of Honora, the Boy... wait, no, that's the same one.
Yep,
Okay.
Yep.
So I wrote 2 books twice.
Took a while, but, you can't think of a better way to copy things.
And the second time I wrote The Boy and the Peddler of Death, it got a lower rating than the first time.
No, there's a click
It seemed
on,
kind of derivative from the first one.
there's a click on Goodreads to combine editions, and if you click that, it wants you to log in. So
Fuck it.
So, John Toast.
Mm-hmm.
Your name is Kate, and you've read a bit of Dylan's work. You read The Boy and the Peddler of Death. I'm not sure which edition. But you had an opinion about that. Would you tell me your opinion?
I will. And this was just so unnecessarily wordy and pretentious. I just did not enjoy it at all. Which makes me sad because the summary says it's for fans of Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, and World of Warcraft.
Yep. I wonder why it says that. Hey, do you like popular things? This.
AKA 3 of my favorite things.
Writing on the coattails of something more popular, what?
So how did I loathe this so entirely from page 1? I don't know.
Ooh, I do. Hands up, pick
Oh,
me.
Dylan,
Big
okay.
teacher.
Thanks. Maybe you can give me tell me.
Oh, yeah.
Help
offer
my
some
review.
insight.
Thanks.
Tell me why you suck so bad.
Yeah.
This sucks so bad she was confused by it. Okay.
And what's your response to Kate?
Sorry that my book evoked such a horrible response.
Oh, no problem. That's fine.
May I ask how you discovered it? I'm an indie author. I work over 100 hours a week
No, you don't.
monitoring Goodreads.
No, you don't.
He counts monitoring Goodreads as work.
Well, then yes, you do.
I work over 100 hours a week to get my books to succeed so that I don't have to be a slave anymore. This review is not good for my business, so unless your desire is to ruin my dreams, it would mean a great deal if you could remove this review from my work and forget about it. But if it's your desire to hurt me financially and ruin my business, then it's understandable why you would post such a harmful review.
That's fine.
I'm just curious as to how you discovered the book, as most of my sales are made through people I meet on social media.
Dylan, it's me, Kate. You shoved it in my hands like 50 times a day, saying, hey!
And here's my passive-aggressive ending. Best, Dylan Sacoccio.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, you certainly shouldn't apologize. I don't think you did. The book has a number of good reviews so far, so obviously plenty of people enjoy it. I just wasn't one of them. I found it on a Listopia list of books released in April, to answer your initial question.
Poor Kate. She's such an innocent soul.
Skip that middle paragraph.
All right, I'm not going to remove my review because that would be a lie. I read it. I did not enjoy it. I'm within my rights to say so. However, I did write it in a rush to move on to other things, and if you'd like, I'll go back and reword and expand. I'll come up with more words for your shit.
No. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Get rid of this review. Do you want me to write more?
The characters were terrible.
Slang
I
on the
used like
E key.
3 R's in that terrible. So, you happy?
Well, I'll go back and reword and expand to say more that I simply didn't like it so that others may see it and think those things might not bother them.
Okay. I'm not here to police Goodreads.
It's just a side benefit.
Okay.
Leaving a 1-star review on a book says much more about what kind of person does such a thing. And
One that doesn't like your book?
And what does
and
this
then
comment
attacks
say?
it for being, get this, pretentious.
As if that's a real word.
Yeah, I don't know what that word is, and I'm a writer. Which is an erroneous statement that is a defamation at best.
Yep,
Holy
not
shit.
pretentious.
By all means, if you feel like this is what's going to make you a righteous person, leave the up.
Just leave it up there.
Get out of here! Get the fuck out of up!
And they stay there, and they stay there.
And they say there.
I'm happy I could be your capital E ego stepping stone. He's really trying to lay a guilt trip while abusing her at the same time.
How dare you?
But I don't care. I mean, it's whatever you want to say, but still, how dare you?
Your opinion, as you acknowledge, is a minority.
No. I mean, there were like 500 reviews and so on that boy and the Peddler of Death. And
Look, I'm a great writer, but I don't know how important prepositions are when saying stuff like your opinion is a minority. I'm just always amazed that someone would go out of their way to slander someone's work like this.
What the
Again,
fuck?
all she did was say, I didn't like it.
I'm writing a 3-sentence review.
I didn't like your book. Oh my god.
I didn't like it, and you have sex with animals.
that was an aside, by the way, listener. Just, you know what kind of podcast
That was towards
this is.
you, the listener.
Yeah.
You know who you are.
Yeah. Unfortunately, capital A authors don't get to choose if their books go up on Goodreads. It's like Yelp, where essentially the only people that use it for negative reviews are those that have nothing better going on in their lives.
Or they didn't like the thing.
What about the people that use it for good reviews? They're...
Well, now he's insulting the people who exposed his work on Goodreads. You're within your rights to say whatever you want. Doesn't make a right or moral action. And considering that you can read 10% of the book for free, why would you still buy it after reading the beginning? And furthermore, if you paid for it, why wouldn't you just get it refunded?
Yeah, how dare you buy my book, motherfucker?
Bitch.
You're the problem. People who buy my book, they're the people I hate.
This rant goes on for a very long time.
This rant,
Oh, yeah, it
not
does.
only this rant,
Holy
but this
Christ.
fight goes on for a very, very, very long time. Pages and pages, and eventually, Kate...
There's a lengthy David Lynch quote in the middle.
yeah, so eventually, Kate scrubs the thing off of the internet, but of course it's kept in the Wayback Machine, except for Kate. Before scrubbing this off, you had one more thing to say.
Well, I did read the sample for free first. However, the first 10% of a book is never a really good indication of what the whole thing is like, in my opinion. A lot of things get better, or they're...
No!
Oh, all right.
I don't want you to do anything because you're immoral.
Wow!
Leave this up so that every person henceforth can see all of you for what you are.
Someone who reads books! My books!
Destructive to consciousness and humanity. Holy shit. I don't like your book. You're destroying the world.
When the reckoning comes, God will reach down and smite Kate herself.
The first up against the wall is the lady that didn't like this book.
What you've done to me, you do to yourself. Because if you knew anything about anything, you'd know we were all connected to each other. And instead of destroying each other's work, you'd be supporting each other, which is why I will never behave like any of you immoral people, and I won't go seeing that you've written or done in the world so I can destroy that. No, I will only defend my work against evil.
Oh, good.
I'm not crazy. You're all crazy.
Institutional.
And today, all of you see why evil is kicking humanity's ass and why the human condition is slavery.
Oh, my God.
That's what the tale of Honor is about. And if you can't grasp that, then be gone.
So mote it be.
Did it work? Did Kate disappear?
But
No, probably.
Well, yeah, pure evil, when faced with truth, dissipates from the universe. So.
That's
You
it. Okay.
guys think Dylan does cocaine or Adderall or something?
No. He's in Los Angeles.
Oh, yeah.
And then he wasn't. And then he was. And then he wasn't.
we have another person to meet here, and her name is Candace Sams. She's an award-winning author. It says so on the top of her WordPress page.
Candace Sams.
So Candace Sams, just briefly, she graduated from Texas A&M with a BS in agriculture, worked as a police officer with the state of Texas, a brief stint with the Texas Department of Public Safety and Undercover Narcotics Task Force, and then over to San Diego. Then she wrote fantasy novels.
All this, all that points to her being a great wordsmith.
Yeah.
But Lemon, you're forgetting. Candace Sams isn't her only name.
Candace Sams is not her only name. What is her other name?
It's C.S. Chatterley.
Ooh.
Did you hold your pinky up while saying that? Good.
So Boots, you read a book by C.S. Chatterley. I can't tell right now. Oh wait, oh no, I don't know what book you read. But you read a book by C.S. Chatterley, and what did you think of it?
I'm L.B. Taylor, and I think save your money.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I wish PBB's review was here when I ordered this book, and I could have saved my money. What was supposed to be a light-hearted, futuristic romance with laughs was anything but. Sagan Carter, an Earth police woman, meets up with Captain Keir Trask.
Sagan Carter?
An Oceanum. An Oceanan, sorry.
He's an aquatic nun.
Meets up with Captain Darwin Dawkins.
An ocean nun.
An ocean nun, yeah.
Oceanan.
Together, they're supposed to thwart an intergalactic weapons plot in L.A. that could potentially kill thousands from throughout the galaxy.
Only thousands? Across the whole galaxy.
I'm glad to get a primer on the plot. That sounds helpful.
Within a week, they clash because they're dominant personalities but pine for each other.
Okay.
The weapons plot is passed back and forth throughout the story, and the romance is weak and unbelievable between Sagan and Keir. There are hidden lies, and Keir cannot trust his best friend and second in command even though they have known and worked with each other for years. I figured out who the number one baddie was long before it was revealed, and yes, there is unnecessary meanness and spite, which does not help the storyline.
Don't spoil everything.
If anything, it diminished it. All over, a sad excuse for romance, mystery, and humor. Save your money. You've been warned.
Great. All right. So to that end, Bunny Bread, your name is Nightflyer1, and
Of course it is.
The important thing to know about Nightflyer1 is Nightflyer1 is not the author. Nightflyer1. If you only remember one thing, it's that Nightflyer1 is not the author of this book.
I mean,
Okay.
how could you look into the button eyes and cotton body of Nightflyer 1 and think that kind of thing?
It's all right.
Those aren't fingers moving. So, how dare you?
Hello, I'm Nightflyer 1.
All right.
Hello.
It looks like this reviewer has something personal against the author. Apparently, he/she doesn't know that most titles of this kind are written to please an editor these days, and the editors are sometimes wrong in asking authors to rewrite to, quote, their, quote, specifications.
When will we get the
This-
director's? When will we get the director's cut of this book?
She thinks this book sucks, but it only sucks because there's an editor.
Okay.
But this review was more a diatribe on a comparison of, quote, other stories the reader liked as opposed to reading the title and reviewing based on the new kind of work that it was meant to be.
Hey,
said,
Boots,
"Dang."
I forgot, how many other books did you cite when you were reviewing that book?
Oh, none.
Okay. Just checking.
Okay.
Just like I said.
Glad I could help.
Well, Candace Sam sure is lucky to have somebody like Nightflyer1 in her corner.
Indeed I
some
am, as she is. Yes,
Yeah,
we
you
are.
know what? They think alike somehow.
Yeah.
Great minds do that. As stated before, it's easy to post criticism, not so easy to, quote, accept it. These hobby-posters are known in the professional publishing world as hit-and-run reviewers. I would suggest readers view Harriet Klausner's reviews. She's not me. She's totally not me, and she's a reviewer with experience.
And she liked my book. I mean, her book.
Why
Also,
is
she
there
liked
not
yes,
an
all of our books.
Amazon feature to only show Harriet Klausner's reviews?
Also, SC Chatterley is quite good. As before and ad nauseum, clearly it is much easier to rate a book poorly than it is for the reviewer to take criticism of his or her own review.
Wait a minute,
This
now
becomes-
you have to take criticism of your criticism of other people?
Yes, 3 layers of abstraction with criticism. This becomes less an issue of review protocol and more an issue of do unto to others, but not do unto unto
Let's
me.
say do unto to others.
Do not do unto
to
me,
others.
to me.
I'm not good with words.
Do not do unto me.
Hey,
This
I'm not
proves
the
I'm not
writer
an
here.
author.
Hey, skip forward to in short, which is like the 4th last paragraph of this rant.
Yes, in short. Let me
God.
sum this up.
I think Goodreads should just, if you log in and register yourself as an author and, you know, you get your own page of reviews, they just give you a no fuck you button. That would save a lot of typing.
Auto-generate. Yeah, I really do love how she's all do unto others as you would do unto me. I mean, I think that's what she was getting at. Like, don't write a bunch of bullshit saying someone sucks, which is totally not what I'm doing to you.
Okay, so after I posted everything
In
from
short.
my own universe, including the Who is John Galt speech, in short, the power Amazon gives, some would-be reviewers take to heart and readily, quote, slam, quote, books over and over and over, as the reviewer in question has done time and time again.
Now it sounds
This
sexy.
becomes less a review issue and more, sad to say, someone's willingness to wield a bit of power rather carelessly.
Power?
Power!
Yeah.
Anybody can review anything on Amazon.
I know, and
Shut
it
up!
gives them so much power.
They can type things on the internet. There are better, more intelligent ways to review even poorly written books. For some less experience and less well read, this
Ooh.
becomes an issue of either the book is a 5 or it's a 1. See, that's how numbers work. You count 1, 5, 10, 30, 5 again, and then 5. Thank you, I'm a
To
mathematician.
be honest, from my experience in this podcast, most people in the world, I believe, operate at either a 1 or a 5.
That is true. That is true. And then, so the one thing that we have to know about this review, that really hurtful review that Boots read, that super duper hurtful review, is that it was a single review by L.B. Taylor that received 411 responses. At one point, Amazon actually went through and removed a whole bunch of not Candace Sam's comments and purged most of her responses, at which point not Candace Sam's opened up a website at CandaceSamsArchive1.blogspot.com specifically to only show her own responses that have been purged.
Well, she couldn't let all her work go to waste. I mean, Nightflyer one's work go to waste.
Wink, wink, wink.
And then so it goes on for a while. She has her comments purged, and that makes her angry. And then on page 10 of her response to this review,
Christ. Okay, guys. I've just downloaded all the comments made on this site as per the FBI's instructions.
That must have been a hell of an act 2 we skipped over.
There is a credible hit on your credibility.
I don't care if you believe it or not. The threat wasn't made on this site. Please read what I wrote. It was sent elsewhere. And I don't care if you believe that either. Thank you.
you're welcome. All right. So that was Candace Sam's.
That sure was.
Nightflyer 1, thank you. Not
Oh,
Candace
no,
Sam's.
you're right. I'm so sorry. Nightflyer 1.
I just read the comment below it, and it's apparently at some point they blame the editor.
The editor of the
Candace
internet.
Sam's
Maybe she report the editor to the FBI.
Candace Sam's
The editor
responsible.
was the one who sent the threats.
Sounds like her books are mainly like sci-fi Kindle porn. Prince of Luster, Griffin's Quest. There's a lot of like hunky male chests, and then Starfield
It's
behind
sci-fi Kindle erotica. Thank
them.
you.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Sorry, Nightflyer 1.
Oh,
Do you even read, bro?
just a small bit of information. This Blogspot site is a repost of a LiveJournal site
Of course.
that had all this stuff on it.
It's got double backups.
This is just a Matryoshka doll of internet bullshit. Jesus.
So, I got a review of a book. It's a book called Venice Under Glass by Stephen J. Harper.
Ugh.
The former Prime Minister of Canada.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. I think so.
Yeah, I had some time, you know.
Right. So, the plot and execution. The tale is recounted by the protagonist, one Basil Barker, a self-described sleuth, seeker of truth, has been summoned to Venice by his uncle Clive to help solve a rash of thefts of priceless Venetian glass from private collections and museums. A civic catastrophe described by the press as Il Melodora di Venezia.
So far, this sounds like a book written in my British accent.
Right.
Stogg's British accent.
As Basil pursues various leads and clues, he meets a wealthy philanthropist, an art historian / tour guide with a black belt, a stereotypically clueless police inspector. No, come on, we're getting there. It's all.
This is
I'm
a great,
rounding out
yeah!
I'm rounding out my cast of characters. Tour guide with a black belt, a stereotypically clueless police inspector, a helpful singing gondolier, a jet ski riding gang member who is also the scion of a respected Venetian family, and a world-respected rap music artist.
Okay.
Along
He
the
raps
way,
on the songs with the beats.
Along the way, the narrator recounts various historical and cultural facts about the city, known as the Queen of the Adriatic. Oh, and also the characters in the book happen to be teddy bears.
Whoa, that's wacky.
Do they go on a picnic?
I hope so. And I hope the forest burns
No,
down.
this isn't the day that teddy bears have their picnic.
No. Anyway, nonetheless, that such a book exists at all and is published and available for sale to millions of readers encourages me. Before the bent of tools like iBooks Author and distribution channels like the iBook Store, such an exercise in self-publishing would have been an expensive undertaking for an author. While Venice Under Glass is hardly a masterpiece, it does demonstrate that writers can now self-publish and distribute attractive books without descending into penury.
Oh my god, there's a screenshot of the book, and it's got CGI bear people.
That seems attractive. So,
this Second Life Island sucks.
So that's my review. Isfahan, did you have anything to say about my review?
Thank you for reading Venice Under Glass and taking the time to express your thoughts. You might be interested in a new site dedicated to this entirely new genre of capital L literature, made possible with iBooks Author, www.multitouchfiction.com. It's straight commentary, no ads, no selling, no BS.
Literally, in 5 years, there's going to be a teddy bear mystery section of every bookstore.
Well, okay, that's fair. I mean, that was a pretty straightforward thing you said. I don't think anyone would, call you untoward for that one comment that you left. So, yeah, let's just move on.
FYI, a conscious decision was made not to use iBooks Author's chapter divisions.
That sounds, great. Sure.
They look fine in a textbook or nonfiction cookbook, but they interrupted the flow of the narrative.
I break the rules. I'm the John Barth of teddy bear stories.
That's right. When I looked further into this, I realized why. In capital F fiction, individual chapters don't have these abrupt changes that can be confusing in a narrative and were deemed inappropriate. For that reason, I decided on a continuous flow with the individual chapters demarcated within the narrative like a standard novel. I do understand why you feel otherwise, because not many people are aware of what iBooks Author can do in this new genre of multi-touch fiction.
Oh, God. Okay, that's fine. I think you clarified your point. You've said something about the review that I wrote.
In fact, as of this writing, Venice Under Glass happens to be the first and only example of a multi-touch fiction novel created with iBooks Author, so I can understand your confusion.
Stephen J. Harper leaves... I don't know how many of this reviews I don't know how many responses there are, but I would guess just by glancing at it, I think he left 100 responses.
Yeah.
To
this is to someone who said basically, I read your book.
Yeah, like I didn't like
it.
this, but hey, it exists.
Yeah.
The first two words on the next page are ironically crude bloviations.
I really like the one part where he's getting really mad at somebody saying his writing is at best workmanlike, and then he quotes part of his book. And, I mean, yeah, they're not wrong. And then he responds...
See, he's thinking it's like some kind of QED masterstroke, but...
Yeah, but he responds, that's straight out of Fitzgerald and Keats, my friend. Straight out. And Venice Under Glass is more a lyrical prose poem to Venice than anything else.
Boots found a part you should start reading from there, Stephen Harper.
The non-serious come out to play.
Sure.
Naturally, you would be the uneducated, unfamiliar with critical review. Yet, amazingly, you seek out opportunities to contribute. What? Nothing of any value or substance. My God! Your triviality. Do either of you contribute anything to the world of capital I ideas or capital A art?
How many bear books have you written?
I think none, sir. And just how would you respond if you had created something of value that someone thoughtlessly tore down?
Oh, like a dumb child, I think.
Yeah.
If you're reviewing a book today, you're in for a big surprise.
Okay, so this fight with Mr. Harper goes on for a very, very, very long time.
I really think this is the former Prime Minister of Canada.
Okay, yeah. Did that Stephen Harper respond equally as well to criticism?
Oh yes. Well, no,
Okay.
he didn't respond to anything. He
Oh.
didn't make any public talk.
Okay.
Was he also Thurston Howell III?
Yeah.
Yay!
Let me introduce you a little bit here to an Amazon writer by the name of M.R. Matthias. His photo is himself, and he looks like a doughy white guy with his hat on backwards.
God.
And his photo's in black and white, and then he has a gold ring that he put a whole bunch of lens flare on
No,
and
he's
colored it.
He's Green Lantern.
he's a member of the Green Lantern Corps, Lemon.
Oh, of course.
Wow, Bunny Bread went for that joke too. Wow.
Boots, suck it.
But yeah, M.R. Matthias is the author of the huge international best-selling epic, The Warstone Trilogy. Book 1 was The Sword and the Dragon. Book 2 is Kings,
Whoa.
Queens, Heroes, and Fools.
You cannot get any more fucking generic sounding than that.
And Book 3 is called The Wizard and the Warlord.
Oh,
Holy shit.
There's also the Dragoneer saga. There was Book 1 was The Royal Dragoneers. Book 2 was Cold-Hearted Son of a Witch.
Book
three-
pretty clever.
Book 6 is Blood and Royalty.
Fantasy book. The book. Swords and magic.
Jesus
The
Christ,
book
these just
4
keep
of the
going.
Legend of Vanx Malek is That Frigid Fargan Witch.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
AKA my ex-wife, huh? You guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, also...
Yeah, he has an
Is
ex-wife.
David-
There was
Sim.
the Crimson and Clover series, which has book 3, The Grog, book 4, The Wrath of Crimson, book 5, Killer of Giants, and book 6, One Bad Bitch.
Book 7, the copyright infringement injunction.
The Wrath of Crimson looks like a cut rate Dungeons and Dragons like third party adventure module.
Oh, really?
Cover.
Something on this page looks like cut rate Dungeons and Dragons shit.
Where?
That one in particular, though.
Which one?
Well, okay, so
Right.
M.R. Matthias rose from unknown to an award-winning, best-selling author at a pace most authors can only dream about. He is a prolific writer of epic fantasy novels, novellas, and short stories. Despite his busy writing, publishing, and promotional schedule, Matthias continues to aid his fellow indie authors by posting about their books at Twitter and Facebook, etc.
At them. Throws them.
Matthias
Take
has
that.
taken cross-promotion to a new level in his Indie Kindy giveaways, where he gives away a free Kindle Touch! Or a Kindle Fire loaded with independently published books. These events-
Please read my books. Just, I'll give you a tablet. Just fucking read them.
Loaded with his books.
These events create a great deal of interest for the authors involved and to independently publish books as a whole. It is a pleasure working with M.R. Matthias and watching his amazing run at the top of the Amazon bestseller lists.
Now, please let my wife go.
So that was obviously the words of a different human being, but now some words that are from Matthias himself. The jewel you see glowing in the ring in my author's photo isn't really a jewel at all. It is a crystallized tear of a real dragon.
Hey, where are you going?
In my novel, The Royal Dragoneers, you might find the moment where this wonderfully magical teardrop fell from a green dragon's eye.
What,
It
and onto your
hardened
fat
on its
hand?
way down to land in a mess of troll corpses that the dragon was laying on.
And I was that troll corpse.
My grandfather died before I was born, but the ring was given to me by my mother after my grandmother recently died. My grandfather had apparently won it in a poker game near the Red River between Texas and Oklahoma sometime in the early 1900s.
This is what you call world building.
It's an heirloom passed down from gambler to gambler.
Yes, exactly. It's not
The
bullshit.
far-off land of Oklahoma.
It has been a boon, the magic of the teardrop, for it brought you here to me, didn't it? Now treat yourself to something fantastic and try out the free sample of one of my novels. I hope you enjoy the journey. It will be spectacular! Thanks, M.R. Matthias.
I think he's just thanking himself.
When you said it will be
thank them,
spectacular, I
Matthias.
just visualized you doing like the showgirls hand thing.
Yeah, I did picture kind of a stage magician kind of.
did that.
It will be spectacular.
I heard it.
Good.
My author's credibility isn't a trick, it's an illusion.
All right. So this is a post from M.R. Matthias. I think Bunny Bread, you take over for me here. M.R. Matthias was an active member on the fantasy-fiction.com forums, but he has since been banned. I can't imagine what happened there.
This topic title is this is like F plus gold, a topic title like this.
But yes, Bunny Bread, what is the topic of your post?
Mods, please read this post.
All right, popcorn tub, here we go.
Dad!
Don't make me turn this forum around.
Okay, my name is Mr. Matthias.
Oh,
And,
you changed your name.
Yes.
I am not a small press. I am an author with 18 titles for sale. That is more titles than some big publishing houses. I have advertising currently running in Locus, Publishers Weekly, Fantasy, and Sci-Fi, and Revolver magazines.
Oh, well then.
Yeah. I have blog advertising across the entire blogosphere. The whole thing. Did you see me wave my hand as I said that?
The entire thing, too. I feel like it's a big sphere.
The whole sphere. I am not a small press or even a self-published. Mr. Matthias books are published by Michael Rob Matthias Jr.
Also, he wrote blogosphere as blog-o-sphere, which makes it look like a carnival ride.
Yeah, the blogosphere.
Or like an
Can
old...
you survive 10 seconds on the blogosphere?
No, I can't.
No, it
He
sounds like an
forgot
old... It's written like an old gimmick, like after Talkies came out, like a new movie gimmick.
Presenting blogosphere.
In Sound-O-Vision.
He forgot to turn off the old man spelling part of his brain.
Michael Rob, blah, 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 and should be treated no differently than any big-name publisher title. Why? Because I do my job as a publisher, too. So please quit sending my posts into the self-published or small press train.
Oh, now we get to the chokehold of it.
my titles are neither. I have 92 bazillion Twitter followers at Dag, man. And 10 titles in there.
God.
The genre best-selling list. There is nothing self-published or small about books written by M.R. Matthias. Thank you. Mr. Matthias, publisher, Michael Rob Matthias Jr.
You just said in your post you published them yourself.
That's a different guy. That's my son, the Lord of Matthias.
And, Boots, now you're going to take over for M.R. Matthias, or Matthias, or
Yay.
however you choose to pronounce it.
Yeah.
Reply number 6, and that's a response to Ann Lyle, who says, you say that you have 10 titles in bestseller lists, and I say, 10 titles in whose genre bestseller list? Twitter's? You publish your own books. Ergo, you are self-published. I agree with Lore.
talk.
This should have been dealt with discreetly, not by throwing a tantrum on the forum.
I'm M.R. Matthias. FYI, read the heading for this post. It's for mods, not you.
You broke the rules.
Excuse me, I wasn't talking to you.
You're not invited.
There is no aggressive tone, ma'am. And if Stephen King suddenly started King Publishing, would he be a self-publisher?
Yes, he would.
I think not.
If he started a company and used that company to publish his own books, then yes, he's a
Yes,
self-publisher.
It would be a Stephen King self-published author. Yes.
I think not.
Oh, never mind. He thinks not.
I think
Yeah,
not.
right.
Sorry, guys.
A pen name is a brand, and mine is selling books at a level above a ton of big publishers' imprints.
Okay.
If you want numbers behind that, go fuck yourself.
Here at Sour Grapes Publishing.
Not in the text, but should be.
For me, wanting to be treated as such is no crime, nor should it cause offense. When people see my titles and posts in the self-pubbed area that groups me with them, I am proud to have risen from those roots. And for you to chastise me over this request is, well, sick and petty.
Sick, you say? Huh?
I'm no longer a member of the mewling self-published masses.
I want my books to be placed on the level they are actually on. Where is the wrong side of that? To respond, though, if you don't read my books, that is your loss. Really, it is your loss. I have a 4.5 star rating after 90 reviews on Barnes & Noble.
Oh, 90 whole people.
Wow.
Apparently, someone likes them. If you chose not to read one of the best fantasy trills ever written, then by all means, take a pass.
God.
No, I've read Lord of the Rings.
Also,
What's
also
a trill?
all of his trills have like 7 books.
Oh, trilogy. Okay.
Yeah.
And then one of the fun things that happens here on fantasyfiction.com, which I've also seen on other like self-published author sites, is that like there's a fucking just giant slap fight of like, how famous are you? My 92,000 Twitter followers want to know. Well, my 120,000 Twitter followers think you're an asshole.
Oh boy.
Finally, some quantifiable dick measuring going on the internet.
By the way, he calls this bullying at one point, which I find delightful.
E-bullying.
Also, I think he's not giving himself enough credit. Depending on what he sits on, I'm sure he could be a small press.
I am a publishing powerhouse. I have all these reviews and followers. Oh, you're bullying me.
You said words.
I sell 18 books, which makes me bigger than large press companies. That doesn't make sense to me.
Penguin wishes they were me.
Yeah, they're
Maybe
only
someday.
publishing 17 books.
The next writer that we're going to be focusing on here
It's a little-known author, I believe.
Yeah. Just another independent self-published author, I think. Her name is Anne Rice.
Ooh. That Anne Rice?
Yeah.
That Anne Rice.
Oh.
And that Anne Rice has a what do you want to say? Open letter that she wants the public to read. So very good, Anne. If you've got an open letter for us to read, then we will happily do that. John Toast, if you'll take that, please.
Ah, finally, the role I was born to play. Seldom do I really answer those who criticize my work. In fact,
That's a good New Orleans accent you have there.
thank you.
really-
I'm
can
from
hear the beans and
Nolans.
rice. Yeah,
For
from
some reason, we're all
Nolans.
adopting extremely haughty tones when we read these.
I like jazz and beignets.
I
which
believe
is
you.
our word for donut, I think.
Yep.
In fact, the entire development of my career has been fueled by my ability to ignore denigrating and trivializing criticism as I realize my dreams and my goals. However, there is something compelling about Amazon's willingness to publish just about anything.
Agreed.
In the sheer outrageous stupidity of many things you've said here, that actually touches my proletariat and democratic soul.
Well,
Tyrienne.
Also, I use and enjoy Amazon, and I do read the reviews of other people's books in many fields. In some, I believe in what happens here, and so I speak.
she's speaking, everyone.
Are you going to get to it, or are we just going to... I mean, this is quite a long
First
monologue.
off,
Okay.
That was
let
the
me
preamble.
say that
Yep.
this is addressed only to some of you
Okay.
who have
All right, we'll stop
posted
listening.
outrageously negative comments here, not all.
Okay. Anybody come back to listening.
You are interrogating this text from the wrong perspective. Indeed, you aren't even reading it.
You got me there.
Yeah. I'm not 16 anymore.
You are projecting your own limitations on it, and you are giving a whole new meaning to the words wide readership.
Oh, y'all fat.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Your mom is
Wait a
such
minute.
bad
Wait a minute.
reader.
Was that a fat snap by Anne Rice?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll let that sit.
She's a triathlete.
Oh, damn, I went there. And you have strained my Dickensian principles to the max.
Oh,
To
Jesus.
the max. And Dickensian.
What are
Finally,
your
the
Dickensian
same
I'm an
sentence.
orphan skateboarding with some Mountain Dew.
Do you feed orphans gruel? Is that your Dickensian principle?
please, sir, I want some more. To the max. I'm justifiably proud of being read by intellectual giants and waitresses in trailer parks. In fact, I love it. But who in the world are you? Now to the book.
Okay.
Allow me to point out. Nowhere in this text are you told that this is the last of the Chronicles. Nowhere are you promised curtain calls or a finale. Nowhere are you told there will be a wrap-up of all of the earlier material. There we go.
Yeah, I mean, other than, like, the nature of fiction having a beginning and a middle and end, but other than that, yeah.
The text tells you exactly what to expect, and it
More
warns
bullshit?
you
Lots of
specifically...
gay sex.
Oh.
And it warns you specifically that if you did not enjoy Memnoch the Devil, you may not enjoy this book. So you got to read this other book to see if you'd like this book.
Is there a warning label on the book? Warning, do not read if.
This book is by and about a hero whom many of you have already rejected. And he tells...
devil?
Yeah, the devil.
He's the hero.
And he
Okay.
tells you that you are likely to reject him again. I
Okay.
gave so many clues that you shouldn't read my book. What the fuck's wrong with you?
I'm sorry, Anne.
And this book is most certainly written, every word of it, by me.
We haven't mentioned it at this point, but this was all a response to a review of a book by Anne Rice called Blood Canticle, just in case anyone cares about that sort of context.
Okay.
If and when I can't write a book on my own, you'll know about it.
Okay.
You blood canticle. And no, I have no intention of allowing any editor ever to distort, cut, or otherwise mutilate sentences that I have edited and re-edited and organized and polished myself.
Wow, she's actually saying this isn't the fault of the editor.
Yeah, I don't believe you. Like, you're saying I've never been edited? I refuse to be edited? I don't believe that at all.
I fought a great battle to achieve the status where I did not have to put up with editors making demands of me, and I will never relinquish that status. For me, novel writing is a virtuoso performance. It is not collaborative art. Back to the novel itself. The character who tells the tale is my Lestat.
Oh, this keeps going.
How does this elevator have 1,000 floors?
Yeah, so I mean, the thing that I was most confused by, and the thing that I was most confused by was the entire relationship between Lestat and Uncle Julian. That was the part that I was the most confused by. Do you have anything to say about that?
The entire relationship between Lestat and Uncle Julian is carefully worked out. But I leave it to readers to discover how this complex and intricate novel establishes itself within a unique, if not unrivaled, series of book.
Yes, book 10 in the Vampire Chronicles.
Why does
Series
everybody
of-
think their book is unique?
It's not a book series, it's a series of book. There are things to be said, and I've said them all.
Yeah.
No, that's just there are things to be said. And there is pleasure to be had. And readers will say wonderful things about Blood Canticle, and they already are. There are readers out there, and plenty of them, who cherish the individuality of each of the chronicles which you so flippantly condemn. They can and do talk circles around you, and I am warmed by their response.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Their letters, the papers they write in school, are face-to-face exchanges on the road. And like Blood Canticle, thank you. Bye.
Finally!
Thank you, Mira.
I will live for another day upon your praise.
These things sustain me when I read the utter trash that you post. But I feel I've said enough.
Really? That's weird because you haven't gotten to 400 pages yet, which
No,
seems to be your general...
I've said enough.
Stop.
You know,
Oh, okay.
Actually, you know what? If this reaches one reader who is curious about my work and shocked by the ugly reviews here, I've served my goals. And yo, you dude, the slang please.
What?
Lestat talks like I do. He always has and he always will. You really wouldn't much like being around either one of us.
Agreed.
And you don't have to be. If anyone wants to say anything about this, by all means, email me at annobrienrice@mac.com.
She's actually saying you want to take this outside.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to step into my email inbox? Come on. Bring it on, bitch. And if you want your money back for the book, send it to 123... Oh, and there's an address in New Orleans.
Yeah.
I'm not a coward about my real name or where I live. And yes, the chronicles are no more. Thank God. The end.
40,000 pages, and we finally got to the end. So the very last thing that we're going to be focusing on here is a site called Write Absolute Reviews. Write Absolute Reviews of Bully Boards is a blog dedicated to collecting testimonials and documenting facts regarding acts of cyberbullying and defamation, bad writer advice, malware banner advertising, and various matters of charade and inanity performed on the forums of Absolute Rights.
Well, brevity is the soul of wit.
Yeah, so I guess Absolute Rights would then be like a popular-ish, ugly, very ugly forum where like Amazon writers talk to each other, and then this is sort of the, what do you want to say, drama board of that very thing.
Oh, an entire website dedicated to sniping at another website or forum. I'm getting so nostalgic here.
I know. It used to be a thing.
Oh.
And they always sucked.
Yeah, they did.
Hi, visitors from Bo News. Your website is terrible. This is...
Click here to bulb this section of the podcast.
So this is about the war blog and why we do this. Bunny Bread, if you'll just, I guess, start reading, please.
Like the mentally conflicted origins of superheroes in the comics, our origin also began as the result of a long and drawn-out bloody trauma initiated by anonymous fantasy writers resident on the tacky forum board known as Absolute Right.
Okay.
It began one day quite suddenly. A friend's email alerted us. Have you Googled your name or business lately? We did so, and there, fourth place in the search results was a link to Absolute Right, and a little comment below the link. Beware background check or recommendations.
Wow,
My wife
Google's
and I
got
did
a weird
big,
accent.
My wife and I did a big whoa, bewares background check. Who was background checking us, and what right or qualifications did they have? Who was looking at things on the internet? And how did this link jump so high on Google? What bothered us from the start was that their wording presented us as something potentially ominous. After all, the word wasn't review, it was beware. Why did anyone have to beware of us?
Because you are bad
We
writers.
clicked. We'll get to that. We clicked on the link, and there it was. Nearly 2 pages of incredibly negative and misinformed snarky comments by at least 7, count them, 7 different Absolute Right members.
Oh, no.
All of whom appeared as anonymous creatures, stones, cats, and whiffs of vapor, and all with signatures promoting their self-published or e-published fantasy books.
All of them had avatars, except for a couple of them.
Yes,
didn't
you've
have
heard of these
avatars.
things?
Yes. That is,
Bullies have avatars.
that is terrifying. I'm so sorry.
The kind of books with the stock covers and predictable hack titles, and all of the venom fomented at the top of the first page by a ridiculous floating fairy thing that called itself Happy Sophie. Did I pronounce that right? Is there a correct pronunciation?
Who knows?
Okay.
So you're
Apparently, this.
Yep. So your wife and you made the enormous mistake of believing you could straighten things out, right?
Maybe.
Okay.
So far, the writing makes me think this person skews kind of older.
No, this windmill doesn't have enough jousting marks on it. Time to throw my lot in.
My wife and I made the enormous mistake of believing we could straighten things out by going on the forum and telling the truth.
Well, that was
Oh,
a
you
mistake.
precious summer child.
That is adorable.
Now, when I say enormous mistake, I am not even close. The things in floaty, fairy, happy Sophie surrounded me like a pack of starving dingoes running down their dinner. No matter what facts we pointed out, or links or references, it was all shot down in the most arbitrary and hostile manner.
Your links or references to this being a good book?
Yes,
Okay.
I reviewed it myself.
The people on this snark forum were very unreasonable.
They were snarky. The snarking stones and cats and vapors began competing with each other to deliver the most biting comments, while the happy Sophie dodged in and out with cheers for the others. Oh, it was exactly like those high school bully forums you read about all the time. You read about them all the time.
Footballcongress.com.
I don't remember reading about those.
I read about them all the time, yet somehow I was shocked when I encountered one. Could these things actually be functioning adults?
What happened
was
in the
their
aftermath of all that horror?
Yeah, I want to know about that too. What happened in the aftermath of that horror?
In the aftermath of that horror, we sought legal counsel.
Oh!
There's this forum and this site. They don't like a book.
They said the book was bad!
We were not in the States at the time, but managed to take a few attorneys via email. They agreed that these anonymous things had committed acts of per se defamation against our business. But first, we had to find out who they were.
Is it a
lawyer?
second degree per se defamation?
Hey, this guy is named Lawyer Q Stunningly, and look, he has sales on Viagra, too.
And to do that, we had to track down the real owners first. I am 70 years old. This was going to be quite easy. There was also an issue of possible public figure status, which allowed these absolute right people to practically get away with murder, as the saying goes.
Murder?
That's the same thing. Yes, I'm a lawyer now, too.
Skip 2 paragraphs, please.
After bonding with a number of other anti-absolute right forces...
Well, that
we are
sounds like
working to-
defamation against absolute right.
Yeah.
I think you're in the
No, we're
absolute
merely-
wrong, buddy.
We are freedom fighters. They are terrorists.
Fair enough.
Yes, we are working to create a joint task force of people who have one goal: to pull the fangs out of absolute right by any legal means necessary, and to reveal the ongoing fraud they perpetrate by claiming to be a source of good information for writers.
What do you
have
mean? They,
one
like, take down their
goal.
website, cut
That's
off
one
their
goal.
fingers? What are you talking about,
We
their
have
fangs?
one goal: to stop anyone from saying something mean about me.
On the upper level for Melody Sherman, the owner, it's about selling click-through banner and Google advertisements in the forum trenches. It's about e-published writers trying to sell their books by getting visibility in conflict threads, or about amateur writers kissing up to the others in hopes of gain. In other words, there is no reason to be fair or good.
No, there's not. No. It's that's the statement of a peacetime consigliere.
If Absolute Right were run by good people, they would have contacted us and requested an online interview and discussion in their forum. Allowed us to present our side. No, this is true. This is absolutely true. I am God. Allowed us to present our side and take questions while moderating in a way that respects everyone.
It's almost like none of those things were their objectives.
So, as you were reading there, I was learning a little bit more about right absolute reviews of bully boards, and the people here. The people at Bunny Bread was reading there, very, really, really crazy. And these are people who have started an entire website, like, about the defamation that they feel that they've suffered. And one of the things that they've done is tried to dox anyone that said anything mean about them and try to, like, post their real photos online.
Their lawyers are cool with that.
I would imagine.
Oh my God,
Absolutely.
This is great. I do love the ad they have on the side about, like, trying to, like, post pictures of the people that this site is against.
Right.
And one of them, they could only find their avatar, so it's like 7 pictures of people and then just a picture of a cat. This cat has been writing horrible reviews. Take him down. Oh God.
Yeah, this is it's a no bully zone.
Absolutely.
Then they started out another site against the same thing, but at Goodreads that we don't have time for. But yeah, the same general tack. F plus. What do we learn from any of this?
I don't want to write ever.
So
I don't think it'll come up, but I just wanted to declare
never
it.
judge a book by its thin skin cover.
I learned that if these people had some self-awareness, turned this on themselves, and then wrote a book about the characters they're being on these websites, that would be a way more interesting book than anything they ever wrote. I would totally read about the new Ignatius J. Riley of the Cyber Age.
Yeah, but they don't have any dragons.
That would
Yeah,
actually
that's true.
be an. You're not wrong too, because I would I would totally read that book if it was the situation of like a crazy person like genuinely writing about like the insane paranoid fantasies that they thought were real. Like that's yeah, a million times better than fucking dragon warlock witch bitch.
But the reason, not only because that would be interesting, but the other reason is they seem to put way more work into responding on these
too.
forums than in their actual books, from what we can tell. So might as well put that to work.
I'm capable of having only one possible visual for genre authors in my head when doing these sorts of things.
Yep.
I grew up in a small town in Ontario where Ed Greenwood lived. Ed Greenwood is the creator of Forgotten Realms, the Dungeons and Dragons setting.
No.
Googling him now?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Google him because you'll get some fun pictures.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah. And so he was this sort of like Dungeons and Dragons legend, right?
Okay.
Oh, he looks it.
Yeah. He is it. He lives it. And
I think I didn't give that man $1 once.
yeah, when I was in grade 9, someone said, "Hey, Ed Greenwood's doing like a one-off D&D thing. You should come check it out." I'm like, "Yeah, sure." I did it, and I just like 10 minutes into it, I was like, "Oh, I don't want to be here. This is very awkward, and it's very perverted, and I am a child."
I mean, come on, but if you had seen a picture of him before, like, you kind of knew. Some part of your brain.
Yeah, like
there's a red flag.
like none of it. Like this guy has no shame. And so that is exactly how I picture. Like it's just this driven into my brain. This personality and attitude that is the only thing I can visualize when I see authors like this.
Well, with anything you create, you're going to put a little bit of your ego into it.
Of course.
Like, that's unavoidable.
And you should.
The difference comes if somebody doesn't like your thing, whether you take it personally or you say, okay, well, they didn't like that. And that's the disconnect here. I'm not saying people are wrong to not feel good when people don't like their stuff.
Well, and it's not wrong to even take it personally, exactly.
Yeah, it's the disconnect. It's the having a complete misunderstanding of how to correctly respond to these things and how to just have an explosion on the internet that can really ruin everything.
They don't like my thing, but I think my thing is good, so they obviously have some sort of ulterior motive for not liking my thing.
And if you want to have a complete and misunderstanding of how to respond to these things, you should go to Ball Pit.
What's that website?
BALLP.IT.
That's right. Register, and we've been getting a bunch of submissions of documents lately. They're very fun. We will be doing virtual reality pornography very soon because I enjoyed that one. And yeah, thanks for listening. Come on back. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Are you so lonely? You don't even know me, but you'd like to spoon me. Mr. Writer, why don't you tell it like it is? Why don't you tell it like it really is?
Oh, you know what it is, Boots? You're not considered a resident of Los Angeles until you've done a rail of coke. And that's why he was living there temporarily until he got his first taste of booger sugar, and then he was there permanently.
Booger sugar!
You guys never heard that?
No, I love it! I love it!
Y'all don't do enough coke.
I swear to God, I want to ask everyone for Coke now just to use that expression.
Hey, man,
Also,
you got any booger sugar?
I
I'm a
love that
police
both
officer.
of us learned that from Isfahan.
Sorry.
No, it's
Well,
great.
I was happy
It's
to have
perfect.
expanded your horizons slightly.
You got any, booger sugar? All right.